When you think of games that were released in 2005, what is the first game that comes to your mind? Is it Kingdom Hearts 2? Maybe Call of Duty 2 comes to your mind? Is it Need for Speed Most Wanted? Or is it the best game of all time, True Crime New York City?
Hey friends, over here. Be quick.
If any of these weren't the first game you thought about, then f*** you. And if any of these were, then f*** you. Resident Evil 4 is the game that is the personification of 2005. You know exactly who this blonde man is. He's Actually, I forgot. Hey dude, what's your name?
I'm Leon, mother...
What color is your bag?
That's right, Leon S. Kennedy became the Chad to pioneer the gaming industry. If RE4 didn't come out, we wouldn't have gotten games like Uncharted, Fortnite, God of War Ragnarok, Your Dad, and even Forspoken, which should have stayed in the closet where it belongs. My point is that this game is one of the most influential games of all time. It's so influential that my fellow influencers on YouTube say it's the best game of all time. Now, do I think it's the best game of all time?
No.
The game is gray, it's riddled with QTE segments, stuff that literally makes no sense, and the most important part of the game, in my opinion, the characters fall flat. Leon, in my opinion, fails as a character because after what he went through in Raccoon City, he doesn't have any sort of PTSD or trauma shown in the game. He's just an action hero who does cool backflips over lasers. That's cool, but it's not good. Now, Ashley, the president's daughter, isn't even a character. She's just a blow-up doll with a string attached to a voice box. You are literally allowed to look up her skirt. Like, come on, what the is this? Yandere Simulator?
How about we do some, overtime?
Louis Sarah, which Leon calls Lois in the game.
Stay with me, Lois.
In the game, he's only in 4 parts, and then he dies under the main villain's giant horse. He's not utilized at all, and it's very disappointing. He does get fleshed out in the Separate Ways DLC. He's just so goddamn hollow. I don't want to get into the dated tank controls or the terrible Spanish accents because the game was made in 2005, and let's be real, having bad controls and inaccurate translations was a common thing back then. And before you come at me saying I couldn't do any better, I'm actually very fluent in most Spanish. Bonjour. March 24th, 2023, which is today actually. Capcom released a remake of the game that was supposed to fix all of these issues. As a fan of survival horror, the original left a weird taste in my mouth, so I went in with 0 expectations. And I came out with a massive boner. The remake of RE4 is, in my opinion, the second best game in the franchise, right next to Resident Evil Nemesis. It fixes a ton of things that I had a problem with in the original. Leon feels like a human being and not a living advertisement for Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings. Tell someone who gives a shit.
Ashley has gone from a blow-up doll to a person, and Luis in the remake makes me want to turn gay.
Parece que me toca bailar, hermano.
Oh, and the Spanish is no longer broken. Wait, they're not speaking that broken Mexican Spanish anymore. They're actually speaking, like, European. So they fixed the main problems with the game, but made the smaller problems bigger. Including my dick. In the beginning of the game, it's established that Leon experienced trauma because of the events of Raccoon City. And it's said that he's always thinking about it. He can't go for a second without getting a Raccoon City jump scare. He wants to forget what happened that night, but he can't. Well, that's what he says anyway. Leon brings up Raccoon City like it's an ex-girlfriend, instead of something that literally haunted him for 6 years. The only times you can see his trauma are through the intro cutscene, when he talks to Luis in the mines, and in chapter 15, when he's curing Ashley. That's it. And it's so frustrating to see because they had this exact same problem with Jill in the RE3 remake. Instead of Ada having to save Leon in this game, imagine he hallucinates about Mr. X and is like,
No, get off me.
and then he fires off his gun and goes like,
This is for the people of Raccoon City. Bing, bing.
okay. I really wish they explored this aspect more because this was actually what he was supposed to be like in the original Resident Evil 4. He was supposed to have hallucinations and other messed up things, but sadly that was cut because horror wasn't really popular anymore. But yeah, that's about it for the issues I have with Leon in this game. I wanted hell of a boss daddy issues level of trauma, but instead I got a quippy sad that simps over an Asian lady. She's Chinese actually, hold on. Yeah, she's Chinese. Anyway, that's enough talking about Leon. It's time to talk about another big issue I have.
I am Osman Sadler.
Remake Sadler is very generic. Sadly. Laugh! In this game, he's basically just Jared Leto. Unfunny and unlikable. He almost has nothing memorable about him. There's nothing unique about him, and honestly, he's a downgrade to the original version. Sadler in the original game was not a good villain, but a memorable one because he had a little charisma. If Leon had a one-liner, Sadler would come back with one of his own.
Sadler, huh? How about you saddle onto some bitches?
No.
Because of this, you feel like this guy doesn't give a shit. We knew what he wanted and how he was gonna get it. He literally tells you.
No longer will the United States think they can police the world forever. We kidnapped the president's daughter in order to give her our power and then send her back.
But in the remake, he just goes like, yeah, I wanna share this with everyone, and yeah.
Boring!
I'm not gonna rant for long because if I did, this video would be 50 minutes, so I'm gonna move on to something that makes me wanna go to sleep.
You can stop right there.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. The way they made Ada look in this game makes me want to unzip my pants and do something even Sadler would consider unholy. Like seriously, Capcom, why did you have to make her so f***ing hot? But sadly, her voice isn't as hot and it makes me want to go to sleep instead. There's times she does fairly decent, but most of the time it's just I'm gonna give you a comparison between the original Ada voice and the remake Ada voice. Tell me which one you like more.
You can stop right there, Leon.
Put your hands where I can see them.
How about we continue this discussion another time?
See you around.
Ada!
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I personally don't like how Ada sounds in the original, but it's a lot better than what we got in the remake. Lily Gao was perfect for the Ada we saw in Welcome to Raccoon City. In a movie, you only have to hear the voice for a few seconds, and it's not noticeable that her voice is kind of, to put it lightly, drab. But in the game, you have to hear the snooze fest for almost 5 fucking hours. It was probably intentional to make her sound jaded and uninterested, but that's what makes me jaded and uninterested. Okay, I have 2 more things to talk about, and this one isn't as bad as Ada. When I saw this, I wanted to my pants, so get ready.
You know, you're a jackass.
How the did Luis get into their comms? Since it's a literal government-owned channel, it makes no sense for him to have it. Sure, maybe you could say that Ada gave it to him because she's got her hands in everyone's. But at no point is this shown. And also, I hate how Leon never questions this. He's got confirmation that the guy used to work for Umbrella, and he doesn't think for him to get anybody to comment and shoot his That's about it. That's all I have to say. It's mildly annoying and nothing else. You know. Now, for the last flaw that I want to talk about, this is probably the worst one of the game, so get ready. Where the are the golden eggs? There's only 2 in the entire game! Whose idea? I'm fine. I am okay now. Whose idea was it to noodle the chicken?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm not even friends with this person. His editing is probably really trash anyway, but like, wait, I think I kind of recognize you. Don't you owe me money, you stupid piece of...
The amateur's edits are insanely good. I love all of his edits. They're very funny. Did I go now?
Okay, I have